Hi there folks, welcome to another clip here on my YouTube channel. Happy Sunday to you all, and just because it is very sunny outside and comfy, warm, we might put on something like an analogy between the nice weather and the markets. How come? Well, imagine there is a pool out there and you do something like tipping the toe into the water just to find out, oh, is that kind of water too cold for me or is it comfy? So you will probably do the same with a couple of approaches regarding the financial markets, regarding investing, regarding trading, better say swing trading or position trading, for example. So let's just try to explain that kind of analogy. So for example, this so-called strategy is tipping the toe into the water just to figure out if that water is cold. In the case of the financial market, that could mean that you could start with a smaller position size, checking out how that kind of a stock situation, or a commodity, a currency pair situation, whatever you trade, is comfy for you. The kind of a price you entered is comfy for you. And you probably do that same stuff later on, like you're checking out the water with an area up to your knees and later on the whole body, and you will simply try to adapt that stuff in checking out if there is something like another price you could possibly re-enter, or another price you could possibly double your size or add to your size. So this is something like you explain with chart technicals on top of that. That's why I did a chart technical analysis here again. For example, this is very important to say, I didn't name the stock. I was just analyzing, and I didn't tell you something about where to find that kind of a stock. It's simply due to the fact that you only need to do that kind of an approach with very liquid stocks, mega stocks like, or for example, over 200 billion of a market cap, or quite known stocks from indices like the Euro Stoxx 50, like the German DAX, the FTSE 100 from UK, or the three worldwide known indices from the US like the Dow Jones, or the Nasdaq 100, or the S&P 500. So liquid stocks, please, and of course companies, well-known companies, and nothing like a penny stock, crapshit, whatever, so that you are not going to get bust with some new investments. All right. What is important to add is that this is just a chart technical example. So this is not the only approach. This is not the only reason to jump into a long position or to try out a short position, like I explained to you in that chart technical part. It's the only way just to find something which works for you. And I'm just telling you that stuff because it's my opinion. It's my way. I started having an approach into some liquid, very well-known stocks. And if they, for example, in my case, come down for whatever reason, some fundamentals and some chart technical specialties, whatever, I simply try to find a way to step in for the first time. And I'm holding that one. And I'm stepping into that possibly after a couple of weeks, or even after 1 or 2 months or later on again, and just to average a really nice price, which makes you on top of that earning some dividends, but to just catch the nice price, move back up again, and simply to exit for whatever the reason is, just to take the winners out there and just take the profits for a time reason, for example, just to reinvest your money into another location, into another stock. All right, let's have a look at the chart technical stuff right now. I won't even tell you the name of that stock. It's a Nasdaq stock, so it's a very liquid stock. We probably have to look at a couple of things, technicals, simply technicals, and in case you're interested in the RSI, so the Relative Strength Index, on a daily basis, you will see that this stock indicates you something with that divergence here, and you see a high, an old high here, and another higher high a couple of days later on, you see there's already a high in the RSI, and then later on RSI after that one as well. And then the stock really starts tanking. So this is something like tipping the toe into the water when I'm talking about something like overbought territories. You could simply tip the toe, so start with a position, with a short position, and building that the way when another high occurs. In that case, that happened. So for example, one part of the story. The other way around, right now we see a high here at 81, almost 81 on a daily basis. If you check that same stock on the weekly basis, it tells you 77, so it's overbought on a daily and weekly. So just saying that this is something which could give you a little bit more confidence to build up something like a short position around that. Just in case you want to have a look at the EMAs, so the exponential moving averages, the red one is the 200 and the blue one is the 100. So you see these two lines, EMA lines, the days the last highs here at these areas occurred. You got a 40% difference between that 40% price difference between that EMA and the high. And you see there is a current difference of 20% between the EMA and the last price here. So there could be something like still room if you just take that kind of information for granted. But anyway, I would simply, in my case, no advice, but it's just my way, my opinion. I would simply have a look purely at the RSI, so the relative strength index. And you could do that the other way around. Something I would say in my favor, don't short that stuff, don't short that overbought stuff on the dailies and weeklies. Possibly some squeezes occur or something, whatever a story is coming around the corner, and you simply go bust. So the other way around is something more interesting. For example, check out the lows, the RSI lows on a daily basis. If you are touching something between 25 and 20, almost here, you could simply start tipping the toe into the water and try to build up a long position. And just in case you, for example, did that a little bit a couple of days before that, for example, or 1 week before, it would not be something like a real damage to your portfolio, because you know you are building a position and you would do that once or you would do that twice or on a three-time basis. It depends what you are up to and how to build that portfolio and how to build that portfolio for a longer term or just for a couple of months to come. So that's only your way of building a portfolio. You need to know what kind of a time horizon you have, or you will have, and you probably know you will hold that kind of a stock for a couple of months to come, or even for a longer time. So you see that sometimes it makes sense, even if you're not catching the right moment. With building positions, you could simply start into that, let's say, sell-off period, and you just collect the cheaper prices and build more into that kind of a situation. Of course, again, this is a Nasdaq 100 stock, so this is no bullshit crap stock, whatever penny stock shit. So that's very important. If you do so, if you try to build positions like this, don't do that with cheap stocks, whatever. Cheap, I'm regarding the fact that they are not even a small cap, even underneath that. So do that with, for example, mega caps, so over 200 billion, or do that with absolutely with blue chips from the worldwide known indices, for example, like the Dow, the S&P 500, or the Nasdaq, or a couple of indices in Europe like the FTSE 100 or the Euro stocks. So there are a couple of signs more. There is another tanking here. It's coming down to 25ers and 27ers, whatever. It's just a way to try to tip the toe into the water and to try to explain how position trading could be managed and could be timed. The RSI is something like a very useful oscillator. So try to figure out how to work with it. possibly do that on a daily basis and check the weekly as well if you are up to build a position into the next month or even longer. So, all right. All right, folks. If you like that clip, just leave some thumbs up here, please. And of course, on top of that, it's very easy to be a member of that channel. Just have a click here to be a member of this YouTube channel, and very much appreciated if you do so. All right, it's a little bit long today, so that kind of a clip possibly is over the so-called duration of the usual clips I've done the last times. But anyway, the same stuff as always. I wish you a happy Sunday and enjoy the rest of it, and have a very prosperous new week with a couple of good trades. Thank you very much. Until next time. Bye bye.